Thanks for downloading another segment from the Best of the Classic Metal Show. The Classic Metal Show is heard live on Saturdays from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com. And now here's another piece of Classic Metal Show history on the Best of the Classic Metal Show.
The Classic Metal Show.
That's Beyond Fear right here on the Classic Metal Show with Save Me. And, of course, that was our number one and number two pick of the year last year here on the Classic Metal Show. Top 20 countdown. And always a welcome guest here on the Classic Metal Show, our good friend and fellow Akronite, Tim Owens. Welcome back to the Classic Metal Show there, Tim.
Well, thank you very much. How are you guys?
It's always good to have you here, and we're doing well.
Good. Very good, man. It's nice to be back on. I get in trouble every time I come on here, so it's nice.
Well, Tim, last time we talked about you, we got in trouble ourselves, so I guess we're even.
Yeah, everybody always has the foot and mouth syndrome, and I do it quite a bit, so that's always nice, though. We're only human.
Sure. Well, Tim, obviously, man, you're a busy cat these days, man. Solo records, Yngwie records, busier than ever, huh?
I actually am extremely busy. My wife was just saying, man, it's unbelievable the difference of, I seem to come home from Yngwie, and then I seem to go out to L.A. I'm recording a solo record out in L.A., so I'll go out there for a bit, then come home, and so it's been pretty busy,
Sure. Now, Tim, let's just get right down to it. Why a solo record at this point when everybody's looking for the sophomore Beyond Fear record?
Well, I wanted to be honest, I would have rather done the Beyond Fear record now, but it was the label, my manager, and the label's decision. I think when I split ways with Iced Earth, their first decision was what can we come out of the gate with and do something that's and not, Beyond Fear was already being written, and like I said, I would have rather did that, but I think they just wanted to see what we could do that would be a good idea, and it was the record label SPV and Wendy Dio's decision really to do it this way, and it as I've grown with this, doing this, and it's not, we're not really been advertising it or talking about it really much at all. I think the plan should be that I'll probably really have an official release and talk about it, but we leak it out there every now and then. Chris Caffrey did a good job of that, and which is fine. He asked me if he could, but we have a lot of good musicians and a lot of good songs on it. So I think now that it's coming together more, it's pretty exciting. But I can't wait. I'll tell you what's the good thing in my opinion as well is I know it's going to make the Beyond Fear record even better, because as it makes me even grow more as a songwriter, and brings more elements into my songwriting and stuff. Even working with Yngwie has as well. So I think it's going to make the Beyond Fear record better. It's going to be. I know one thing: the Beyond Fear record is going to be more brutal, and this helps that as well. I think because this takes the mellow parts of Beyond Fear, the songs that I had written, maybe the Save Me's and the I Don't Need This, the Coming at You. It takes more of that stuff and I put that more into my solo record, and it brings out more of Angie Will Dies and Scream Machines and songs like that for Beyond Fear.
Well, Tim, you mentioned leaving Iced Earth, and it's almost...
Yeah, who was it again?
It's almost been a year now, and aside from the initial fallout, what's transpired between then and now? Anything? Is it just pretty much faded off into the sunset?
It really has with me. I mean, I don't pay attention to really what's going on with them or care really, and really anybody who mostly does in my world now in the solo career. Every musician I've had that's came in and worked with me, whether it's Billy Sheehan or Doug Aldridge or whoever's come in, they don't even know who Iced Earth is anyway, so it doesn't even come up in a conversation. So it's kind of nice. I mean, in the world of the Bob Kulicks and the Bruce Kulicks and the whoever it is, Marco Mendoza, whatever it is. They don't really know anything about it. So I really don't even talk about it. And Yngwie doesn't obviously know anything about Iced Earth, and so it's nice. It's kind of left. You know, so much other stuff is going on, and it's nice to just wipe my feet with that whole thing. You know, I mean, it's just a part of my career that I would rather put to the side. Everybody I talk to and that I deal with now talks about Judas Priest because they know my career with that. They just weren't sure what I did after Judas Priest. so it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of nice not to talk about it, and you know, makes it. There's no horror stories about it, and you know, it's just something I soon forget.
Sure. Now, how did
it's been a great 9 months of us not talking about it as well, Tim.
Good, man. You know, I mean, it's. I think it's all that stuff is just done. I mean, I think one reason is I took the high road on it. Real. I mean, I might have said some bad stuff, but I did take the high road on it. You know, I could have did some mudslinging and you know, really talked about what really goes on behind the scenes, which wouldn't be good for the record label finding out, or wouldn't be good for the other band members finding out. So it's that he has now. So it's kind of, you know, it's senseless to even talk about it. I mean, I got to be honest. I wish Iced Earth all the luck in the world.
Sure.
And you know, I got better things going on now.
Right. Well, moving past that, how did you get paired up with Yngwie?
Well, it actually goes all the way back to that Mr. Crowley thing I did, and I never met Yngwie at that point, but I did that Mr. Crowley song with him through Bob Kulick and those tribute albums, and then I had a Judas Priest show in Florida, and his wife came out, and who's his manager, and you know, we kind of started talking ever since then, really, and this was probably, I don't know, 2002 or you know, something like that, 2001, 2002. And at least 2001, and we never just was never able to hook up, you know. And he actually called me in November last year and seen if maybe you know, I was available, and it was good timing because I wasn't happy in Iced Earth, and it was a point in my career where I started looking for other things to do, and so we started talking, and then, you know, I think January I obviously became available. So we got together, and I liked the music I heard. I liked actually the conversation that we had when we met, and I sang some of the stuff, and I liked the fact that I could do the Yngwie thing. I could do tours with him, you know, here and there, and do an album, but not be bound like I was in Iced Earth. Whereas, okay, Tim, it's time for Iced Earth, you can't do nothing the next year, you know. And
right.
And the great thing is already, I mean, you know, everything about this whole Yngwie thing's been great this year. I've made double the money than I would have if I would have stayed in Iced Earth, which is nice. And I'm recording a solo album at the same time that I'm doing this, you know. So it's really a great situation. I was, you know, I really thought about it because there was a lot of people out there that said, you know, you shouldn't do it, and I don't think they really knew the reasoning that it doesn't make me not be able to do anything else. This actually helps. It lets me tour, it lets me sing, it lets me meet new fans, but yet my solo record is going to come out, and then Beyond Fear is going to come out, and those are going to be main things of my. I mean, nothing's going to interfere with when the solo record comes out. When it comes out and I have to tour, that's what I'm going to do.
Right.
You know, no matter what anybody says, that's what I'm going to do. You know, but getting together with Yngwie's it's been great. I mean, the new albums, I really like it. It sounds really good, and we've toured Europe, and I haven't had any problems with him. You know, it's the scary thing that's what everybody asks. Oh man, how do you get along with him? And you know, I recorded a whole record, and he was the easiest guy I ever recorded an album with. It was an absolute blast, you know. So it's pretty amazing to sit around and watch him as well, you know. I've been pretty lucky this past year. Last week I was in L.A. working on my solo record, and we decided to call Billy Sheehan and see if he'd come in and play a couple bass tracks, and he said yes. And 2 days later, he's sitting in the studio playing two of the songs that I had written, and it was unbelievable. You know, I've been sitting with Yngwie watching him shred, now with Billy Sheehan, and these guys are just in a world themselves, you know.
Sure. Well, Tim, with Yngwie, man, the one thing that I think is probably the most interesting dynamic with you and him in the band is that while Yngwie's always had really good singers, you know, Joe Lynn Turner and Jeff Scott Soto and Mark Bowles, he's never had anybody that kind of commands the stage away from him, you know, when he's on the stage. But having seen you, obviously, with Priest and Beyond Fear and whatnot, that's kind of what you do, is take charge of the stage. Do you think that's ever going to cause any kind of problems between you and him?
It hasn't on, you know, I mean, he seems to really like it. You know, we really, that's funny you say that, because the last band I was told I was a terrible frontman, so that's kind of nice that you think that I'd command the stage. That's anyways, we have it's really great up there. I mean, of course, I'm only up there for about 11 songs, you got to figure, you know, because, you know, there's a lot of soloing going on. But we get, our stage presence is great. You know, I understand one thing, and if, you know, I think somebody has to realize this. It's Yngwie's stage. You know, when you go out there, you still have to know, listen, the band's called Yngwie Malmsteen. You know what I mean? So you know it's his stage. But I do anything I want. I don't do anything. You know what's nice about when I got at Yngwie is I'm kind of back to him saying, you know, I go up on stage and I wear a baseball hat in the first couple songs, like I did in Priest, and I really love doing that, you know. But Iced Earth wouldn't let me. This is a nice thing to be able to actually have somebody tell me not what to do, you know. Just go do it, man. I like it, you know. And we really have a good... It's pretty... You do have to watch yourself on stage, though, because that guitar is everywhere, man. That guitar is just being thrown and flung, and it's just flying in the air and swinging, and, you know, he likes a lot of fog up there and smoke, so I have to... I really have to watch out for the flying guitars, you know.
Sure.
No, I mean...
Well,
He's never said, you know, and I have heard that story, man, you know, Yngwie will make you stand in one spot or something like that, you know. I think you guys might have told me the story. Somebody told me the story once, but, you know, I think I'm lucky that I'm working with Yngwie in this part of his career. He's sober for 3 years, and, you know, I saw Jeff Scott Soto at a show a while back. He came out to the London show, and Jeff's like, man, you're lucky you're working with Yngwie now, you know. So him and Jeff get along really well, but, yeah, I mean, I do my thing up there, man. I'm just the same, so it's a blast, you know.
Sure. Now, dude, I've heard the album Perpetual Flame, and it really seems like it's kind of the best of both worlds. It's definitely what you expect out of Yngwie, but other than being a little bit softer than musically than what you normally do, it's definitely, you know, you screaming away, man. It's good stuff.
No, it's a good record, you know. I mean, it's, you know, I think I played it for some of my friends, and they, who didn't know of Yngwie really that well, and they were Priest fans, and they actually thought it was kind of heavier than they thought, because they thought they were going to get this, you know, maybe the Jeff Scott Soto, or not the Jeff Scott Soto, but the Mark Bowles Yngwie or something. That's, you know, this album's a little bit ballsier, I think, than some of his previous releases, maybe, you know, a little bit. But it is, you know, it's not as much high notes. I mean, there is high notes, but not as much high notes. But it's great. It was really fun to sing, and you know, and I do. I think people will like it. You know, I mean, I think it's. You know, the rest of the guys in the band definitely think it's one of the best ones that they've heard in a while from Yngwie, and you know, I agree. I think it's a solid record. There's no doubt about it. I think he's excited, and things are going a lot better for him now. And you know, he's you know, Guitar World cover, and a lot of exciting things are happening. You know, with the Fender guitar coming out. So, you know, I think he really wanted to put out a good record, and I definitely think it's a solid record.
Well, Tim, since
and you know what, it is me, man. You nailed it. I mean, I'm singing like me. You know, he went in there, and you know, it was real. What was fun about doing this? It was a hard album to record. They always are. All of them are. But you know, this one was different than the last couple records I did with Priest and Iced Earth. Especially with Iced Earth, it was, you know, there was a million vocals, and it was done and done and done, and make sure the pitch is right, nonstop, and you know, and just a ton of vocals, you know, which sounded great. There's no doubt about it. The vocals on the Iced Earth records were just some of the best I did. But this was just go at it, you know, go sing it. Maybe the second take. That's it, man. You nailed it, you know, and keep it. And it was great to do that, you know, and just kind of go in there and ad-lib a little bit more and do it, you know. I mean, it was Yngwie songs and his melodies and everything, but it was nice and a little more free to kind of go in there and do it.
Well, Tim, since you've been playing with Yngwie, have you ever witnessed him releasing the fucking Fury?
No, but I think we joke about it every day on tour. You know, I mean, they're always saying Yngwie said something. Unleash the Fury, Yngwie. Unleash the Fury. I really haven't. No, I mean, I've seen him get mad a couple times, but you got to remember, once again, this was when he was drinking. I think he probably had a lot more fury to release.
Sure.
He's definitely a big guy. He's you know, 6, whatever the hell he is. He's tall as hell, man. He's got giant hands and fists. So I don't know if I would really want him to unleash the Fury myself. He's got quite a few scars on those knuckles, so I know he's hit a few people as well. So
sure.
Well, here. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't knock that stewardess out or whoever the hell did that to him. But I haven't witnessed it yet. So I mean. You know, people keep saying just wait, but I'll tell you, he's a pretty funny guy, man. He's pretty funny.
Good. Well, you know, going back to the Priest thing, I'm sure you're well aware that they released their 2 CD set, Nostradamus, and it's you know, gained a lot of controversy since its release. You know, a lot of love-hate going on there. Have you heard it, and what's your thoughts?
Well, I actually haven't really heard the album. I heard a couple tracks, you know. Yngwie, we did a couple festivals with them over in Europe, and 3 festivals, so I watched the beginning of the set. But they were always on too late, so I had to go to bed. That's because I'm getting old now, and it's kind of a watch a few. But the Nostradamus song that they opened the show with is a really cool track, you know. I mean, they don't do that opera singing thing or whatever Italian thing at the beginning of it. They just kind of open up with it, and it's cool. You know, they sounded good in the tour and in the shows. And I'm not familiar. It's, you know, the problem with me is I like to just put on albums and jam through them, you know. And these giant epic albums are just hard for me to put on, you know. I mean, you're not going to see a Beyond Fear record like that, or a solo, even a solo record, or, you know, even with Yngwie's records, it's got a lot of guitar solo and playing, but it's still just songs kind of in your face. And it's hard for me to put albums on. What I would have to probably do for the Priest record is just go through and, you know, pick a bunch of the songs that I like and then make my own 10-song, 12-song CD, you know.
Sure.
Because, you know, even like Framing Armageddon and stuff, it's just, you know, I mean, who bought Framing Armageddon and didn't take off all that crap in the middle and then just play the songs? You know what I mean? That's just, I know it's a story, but it's like, But, you know, the Nostradamus thing album is great because I think Nostradamus said there was going to be an album released about him in 2008, right? Didn't he predict that?
Yeah, you would have thought so, huh?
I mean, I think that was in the thing right after something else happens. I don't know. I mean, one of my nuts explode or something comes next. I think Nostradamus predicted. So,
well, Tim,
no, man, I really like the song I heard in the concert, and like I said, they sounded great, and Rob sounded great, and you know, it was nice to see him. You know, I mean, it was, you know, nice to have a couple of beers with him backstage and hang out and shoot the shit, you know.
Sure. Well, when Priest was out touring here recently on this Master of Metal tour, which was probably one of the ultimate metal tours ever, obviously with Priest, Heaven and Hell, Testament, Motorhead. Rob was interviewed in the Dallas Daily News, and he made a statement that only a gay man could front Judas Priest properly. And our good friend Eric Braverman, who does a video series, the greatest music ever created and how it ruined our lives, he even asked him about that, and he basically was talking about his flamboyant nature and everything. So have you heard that, and what's your thoughts?
Of course, I read it on Blabbermouth. You know, I think I even commented back because it was probably the funniest thing I've ever read. I just laughed. I laughed for days. I didn't even tell my wife about it because it had to be taken out of context or a different way, or, you know, I don't think he would just say that. I think he probably meant it as humorous too. I mean, obviously, he came back and a success. You're obviously going to be more successful with him, but it's just a silly comment. I think it was made to be silly. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to be wearing those costumes he's wearing now. There's no way in hell, you know what I mean? But Rob is Rob, and he's a great frontman and a great singer, and you know, I just think it was a silly comment. It did. It made me laugh. And I'm not kidding you. I almost shit my pants when I read it. I think it might have even leaked out a little bit. I was laughing so hard because, you know, people take it serious. And, I mean, you know, I don't think my wife's probably happy that a gay guy couldn't do it, I guess. But you know, it had to be taken a different way or something. You know, because why would he? You know, and he would never just say something like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of a silly comment, but it is funny. I mean, Rob's Rob, and like I said, we're friends and we get along great. And I looked at that comment and it didn't offend me at all. You know.
So are you sure you or Al Atkins doesn't have something to share tonight?
Al, poor Al. We're doing a album together, me, him. This will be the next one. Me, him, and Blaze Bailey. We're going to do an album together. I guess Blaze and I will just do it. We're all three going to do an album just because we couldn't handle it.
Well, we sort of asked the same question to John Bush and Joey Belladonna and what was their first singer?
Neil Turbin.
We asked them if they would consider doing an album or a tour together and call it Afterthrax.
Yeah, dude, that's great.
There was no humor in any of those guys at all.
That's pretty funny though.
They didn't find that funny at all. Not even one. They go, that's really funny and stuff. But you know, we got our own thing going.
They're pretty serious guys though. You know,
they're right.
Pretty serious guys, and I think it's funny. We'll get Al and I'll do it, and Al will do his. I guess he'll be doing Victim of Changes, right? Since he wrote it, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So there you go. We'll do. I'll just do the high note at the end now.
Very nice. Well, Tim, what's the year look like, man? Yngwie for the rest of the year, and then solo stuff in 2009, or what?
Well, I got a few little. You know, I'm doing. I'll probably going to LA again to do more of the solo album. I leave tomorrow for Miami to start rehearsing for the Yngwie tour, and you know, we're going to be, you know, you can check the tour schedule. I'm excited that I'm going to be coming to Cleveland now, so I'm excited that I'm going to be in my hometown. But we're everywhere, so everybody out there, just check the schedule. You might be better to go to my website and check the schedule, or my MySpace page, because it's more up to date, and I kind of got this than some of the other sites out there. I actually have all the shows that I know that are for sale, and you know, I'll come back and do I come back and I got this Montreal metal show that I'm doing It's just kind of me going out there and hanging out. It's pretty cool. This guy put this thing together. I think the guy that wrote a Judas Priest book from Brave Words and Bloody Knuckles is going to go as well, and some local bands. And I'm going to jump on stage and sing about 12 songs with some band, and it's just kind of a thing where I go and sign autographs and hang out with the fans. And some guys flying me out there for that, and it's a pretty cool thing. And then I'm going to probably do this thing in Mexico, just the same type of deal. I'm going to go out there and just do a signing and hang out with fans, and then go out to L.A. and work on my solo record and try to finish it up, But in November, I'm going to become a grandfather, so...
oh, Jesus, dude.
I know, man. That's why I shit my pants, too. I mean, when you get that age, you can't really hold that kind of stuff anymore. So,
nice.
Yeah.
All right, Tim. Well, you mentioned your MySpace and your website. What are they, and where can people find them?
I know the website is timripperowens.com, and I think the MySpace is Tim the Ripper. MySpace, however you do that.
MySpace.com/Tim the Ripper.
Yeah, Tim the Ripper Owens. But I know you can get to that through my website as well. And I don't update that much, but I do try and say hello to everybody and tell them what's going on. But it's going to be busy, man. I'm excited about it. I got John Capri on the solo record with me. I'd written a bunch of songs, and John, so I flew John out to L.A. with me last week, and he recorded some guitars for me. And we wrote one song together called Death Race, which is very Beyond Fear. Like, I had to put one song on there that's kind of straightforward. But it's good, man. Everything's crazy. The Yngwie thing is great, and my solo record's really coming along. I mean, I got some great people on there.
Excellent, Tim. Well,
Tim, tell John that it's been a year and a half, and I'm still waiting for my Beyond Fear hat.
Where's he going to get a Beyond Fear hat one? Hell, I don't have one.
He swore to me he's going to get me one.
Well, I don't have any.
Nice.
He's probably going to give you his, because I think everybody in the band got one but me. I gave him one on the European tour, and then when I went to get one, they were all gone. Because those bastards got them all.
Nice.
So it's
very nice.
We need some. I was going to just make some with that cross on the front. So when I get some stuff together, they're going to be really cheap, like green ones or something, because I'll get like the clearance ones. They'll be like on the clearance. I'm going to go down to the dollar store and buy those trucker ones with a mesh, but like an ugly green or yellow, or just for you. And I'll put that on there, man. It'll be an old, or like a pink, like that hot pink, that neon pink. Because, hey, only gay guys can sing for Beyond Fear.
That's right. All right, Tim. Well, it's always a pleasure chatting at you. You're always a welcome guest anytime on the Classic Metal Show. So, don't forget to call in whenever the moment strikes you.
Well, drop me an email when I'm on the road with Yngwie, and I'll give you a little tour update. I'll call in and let you know if he's unleashed the fucking fury.
There you go. That's what we're looking for. We like that kind of trash.
Hey, we get him a few of those sugar-free Red Bulls during the night, and he starts throwing some picks around, man. It gets crazy. But I'll call and let you know what's happening.
Excellent.
And we'll see you guys at the show, right?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, Tim. Well, as you know, we always let our artists pick a closing song and maybe tell us a story about it. So what would you like us to play to take us out of the interview?
I'll pick anything I want to pick.
Sure. Go ahead.
How about if I pick... Man, that's pretty hard, man. I'll pick Heaven and Hell.
Okay.
Can I pick that?
Sure, why not?
Just because I can.
Okay. All right, we'll go check.
And he's a metal god, so there you go.
Right. All right, we'll go check Tim out on the road with Yngwie and look for a solo disc from Tim and the new Yngwie with Tim on lead vocal and yada, yada, yada. And he'll be out of town near you somewhere down the road, so go see him. So here it is. This is Heaven and Hell exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.
Thanks for checking out the best of the Classic Metal Show. You can tune into the Classic Metal Show live every Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com.